Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Aside for Esther, I know Esther is already in the class and she's speaking, but who else? Who else do I have in this particular meeting? Please, I
Yeah,
want to
I
know
can hear you.
who. Okay,
Hello.
okay. Oh, your donor is using the. I wanted to confirm if he was you're Nigerian or not. All right, so
Ye-
so we can start fully, right? So we can start fully. So from the last session that we had, these were the few formulas that we touched, and the reason we had touched other formulas, but these are the ones that we have not concluded on. But we might not really touch fully on this because we have new tasks at hand to complete. So in the previous class, I gave a few assignments, I gave a few tasks, do let me call it assignment. So what we are supposed to do is to assign line managers, insert full names without using the concatenate, like I explained in the last class. Using concatenate is like a conjunction. And the last part is to find the highest recruiter. If the recruiter hires 18 candidates upwards, we promote them, and if not, maintain status quo. So we are going to be starting with this one first. So let me explain how the if and if or formula works. We understand that the if formula is setting a logical test for Microsoft Excel. So if you are now saying if and, is we are asking Microsoft Excel a logical question using two separate columns. So if this person, if I want to say, for example, I come to this HR data, if I want to say those that are confirmed and have spent, or let's say are senior staffs. If you are confirmed and you are a senior staff, you are eligible to certain perks. But if you are non-confirmed and you are a senior staff, you are not going to be eligible to that same perk. That's where if and comes in. You say if this what's it called? Sorry, hold on. If confirmation status equals to confirmed and this equals to senior staff, let it be this. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, but we'll look at the formula one after the other, so that it doesn't look like as if I'm saying it without doing. And then the if or is selecting using one column, requesting Microsoft Excel formula to asking Microsoft Excel logical question using one particular column. So the value is going to return either or. Do you understand what I'm saying? So let's start with inserting of line managers, assigning of line managers to each of the rows, right? So we are going to be using the if and or. So please pay attention to this particular form because it's kind of long. I might not explain, I would explain it one after the other, but just watch as I write it. There might be some few hiccups some one way or the other, but we'll find our way through it. I hope I'm clear. All right, so if you type in if, pressing your tab, use the and formula, pressing your tab, and then press or, then press tab. So we have nested two different formulas in the if formula. So remember the last time that we had the class, I said nesting means you are using multiple formulas in an instance formula or an initial formula. So our initial formula here is if, and then what we are nesting in if is and. What we are nesting in and is or. So we are nesting two formulas in the if formula. So what we are going to say is if or, because we are working with line manager, we want to say if or the grade is equal to senior staff, if or the grade is equal to senior executive, if or the grade is equal to assistant manager, if or the grade an officer, and this is equal to senior staff. We'll say and the department is equal to legal, the head of legal. Let me break it down. Let me try to see how it works. So I'm saying, right? N3, that's our start point. So if N for text in Microsoft Excel, starting the sentence with a quotation mark. So if I'm saying if that is equal to senior, okay. If that is equal to senior executive officer, so I'm saying if the grade is equal to senior executive officer, or this is equal to, which other rule do we have? We have executive officer. Logical question 3. Remember, we've asked the first logical question, which is if the grade is equal to senior executive officer. The second logical question is if the grade is equal to executive officer, comma, we are moving to the next statement. The third logical question would be if the grade is equal to, hold on please, if the grade is equal to officer. Remember, these roles are roles that are reporting to the line manager. So the only person we're not going to be including in this OR formula is the manager, because the rest of them are going to be, the value if true is going to be, what's it called? Which is going to be the manager. So do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why we're not going to be including manager in this particular formula. So we have asked the third logical question. Now, the fourth logical question, we've mentioned senior executive officer, we've mentioned executive officer, we've mentioned officer. So the last person is executive assistant and assistant manager, right? So I'm coming back here saying, hold on, please, or go to assistant manager, logical question 5, if the grade is equal to executive assistant, right? So we have finished the OR. Remember, you see that for the OR formula, I'm selecting only one column. I've not selected anything outside the column. That's because we are using the OR formula. The OR formula is asking if this is equal to senior executive officer, or equal to executive officer, or equal to officer, or equal to assistant manager, or equal to executive assistant, because we are reporting to the head of the department, right? So we'll close parentheses. As you can see, it has switched us back to the AND formula. Now we have given the AND formula the first logical question. The first logical question for the AND formula is the OR formula here. So we are going to be moving to the next statement. Sorry, can you guys see the video? Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Some people are complaining on the group that they can't see my screen. Maybe it's your network. I just want to make sure. So I'm using two different devices. I'm using my phone for the voice, and I'm using my system for the Microsoft Excel, the visualization. So 2 for the AND formula is going to be the department, right? So what we are saying is if and or this particular cell here is equal to senior executive officer, or is equal to executive officer, or is equal to officer, or is equal to assistant manager, and the department here is equal to legal, right? Because we are working with the legal department first. So this formula is the department. So we might not go through everything one after the other. I can hear you loud and clear, but can't see the video. Somebody saying they can hear me loud and clear, but can't see the video. I don't know what exactly is happening, but we'll still go on. So we are saying legal officer. If the department is equal to legal officer, close the AND question. Now, value if true is going to be, let's let it report to head of legal, right? Head of legal, close the quotation. Value if false. I would have loved us to continue the formula like that, but I just want to click OK so that we can see. So value if false will say leave as blank, right? So we'll close we'll close the question, the formula, and press enter. So as you can see, right, for every of the departments that is showing legal, and is either a senior executive officer or an assistant manager. See, this one is an executive assistant and is in legal department, is still reporting to head of legal. Every department that you see here, aside for the head of legal himself, as you can see, this is the head of legal, is not showing anything. Why? Because we said value E-Force should be blank. So we are coming down, we are still saying officer, junior staff. This is another officer, is in legal department, reports to the head of legal. So if we are going to do everything, if you check every single one of them, either senior executive officer or executive officer, whatever grade the person is, as long as you are in the legal department, you are reporting to head of legal. So if I want to include, let's say I want to include, what's it called? The operations department now. I can clear the E-Force from being blank. I'll copy this same to this point here. Or let's copy it to this point so that we can see it, so that we don't have to start typing all over from the beginning. So I have copied to that point. Now, what we are going to do is...
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Hello. Sorry to interrupt.
I can hear you.
I sent
No problem.
Yes, I don't really understand. So I hope this video will be recorded and sent to the group so that at least I
yes,
can...
definitely. Definitely,
Okay.
definitely,
All right.
definitely. But it might not be done today. You need to give me like between 2 days, 1 to 2 days to get the video together and then post on YouTube and send you the link.
Okay, because I would like to practicalize everything you are doing on my own.
Definitely. It's
All
fine.
right, thank you.
It's understandable. Thank you very much. All right, so we have done the one for the for the legal department. Remember, we are working on two different cells. Two different columns, the grade and the department. That's why we are able to say that, okay, reports to the head of legal. So if you are going to repeat this particular one for the operations department, for example, so remember, this is the value E-Force. We are nesting this particular formula in the initial if formula. So nesting can be quite complicating. If you are able to read the formula back, you'll be able to track yourself back here. So we are saying if false, after we are telling Microsoft Excel to return if the grade is equal to this and the department is legal. Now the E-Force value is going to be, we'll leave all of the grades as it is because the grades are still the same. We will now change the department to operations because that's what we are working with. So if we say operations, can't I spell operations again? Okay, operations. We'll change it to head of what? Head of operations, because we want them to report to the head of operations. Head of operations. If I now say the value E-Force should now be blank, comma, moving to the next statement, which is the value E-Force. I'll now say value E-Force should be blank, right? Now I'll come here, close the parentheses until I see the black one here. If you are closing parentheses and you don't see the black parentheses, don't press enter because the formula will not give you the value of what you need it to do. So this is red and this is the black one. So I can now enter. Now you will see that it has linked me, it has started displaying those that will be reporting to the head of operations. As you can see, senior executive officer, operations department will report to the operations head of operations. The same everywhere. This is also a junior staff who is reporting to the head of operations, and so on and so forth. I wish I could have the time to go through, do all of them one after the other, so you can see it for yourself how each of the department is. Somebody saying he can't join. You keep asking for code. I don't know what code this person is saying. Okay, so we have that already. So what you can now do is, if you want to now say, okay, how many people report to the head of legal operations, right? You can now use the count if formula. So let's say we want to just practically just find out those that report to the, hold on please, those that report to the head of operations, those that report to the head of legal. Now let's just name this cell here, head operations. I will name here head legal, right? And I I'll say count, come down. You see the count if formula here. You can press the tab button once you get to the count if formula. Now the range is going to be, okay, the data cell here. I can reference this particular data because we've named the table here. I can reference it by saying the name of this particular data is employee data, right? So we can see the data, the table here already. So as it pops up here, I'll press the tab button. Automatically, you come back here, you see that it has referenced the whole table, has referenced the whole entire table, but we don't want the entire table, right? So we include the brackets, what's it called? The square bracket. So it gives us each of the tables, each of the header in the table. So what we are working with is we want to count if the range of our count if is going to be what's it called, line managers, right? The range of our count if is going to be line managers. So we'll close this by including the square bracket, then move to the next statement, which is going to be criteria. Now, what are we looking for? We are looking for head of operations. I will close this, close the statement, close the formula, and we'll press enter. Now, if we come here, we'll see that the head of operations have 9 subordinates that are reporting to her. So if we come here, you count it, this is 1, it has to be 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I will now come repeat the same thing for the head of legal. If we want to find who the head of legal is, we can come back here, do the count if formula. The range will repeat the same process. Employee data. We are referencing the employee data now. Open the bracket square or the square bracket. Now we want to be working with what? What are we working with? We are working with the line manager. We will close it. People are really complaining for their network. All right, apologies for that. So I don't know how these guys are going to connect to this particular training. Okay, so we'll close this. We'll close it. We've already given the statement of our range. Now the criteria is going to be. The criteria is going to be head of legal. Remember, we are referencing exactly what is in the cell. If you are typing a different thing from what is in the cell, you might not get the same response. So we are saying head of legal. We'll close it, then close the formula, then enter. You can see we have 11 people reporting to the head of legal. So we can repeat the same process for all of the heads of departments so that we know each of the number of staffs that are reporting to these heads of departments. So we are clear on the first task. Now this in full name, insert full names without using the concatenate. Now the concatenate formula that we used here, how can we insert full name without using the concatenate formula? Right? Now let me delete this. Let me take this out. Just as you know, the concatenate formula works as a conjunction. It adds 2 different sets of cells together to make a full cell or to give detail in another cell. So another formula that we can use is the ampersand, which is the and that, I don't know how to explain it. If you're using an HP, it's the number 7 on your keypad. There's that and symbol. Yeah, the and symbol is what we are going to use. So we'll say first name, right? And space and last name. Just in case if you don't want to use the concatenate formula, then we close the bracket. But we're not even closing bracket. Let's just press enter. All right. So as you can see, it's still giving us the same value as before. So this is another way to be able to insert 2 data together without what's it called, using the concatenate formula, in case the concatenate is kind of stressful for you to use, because I know that one you have to put a lot of spacing and do a lot of typing. But this one is straight to the point. First name and space and last name. That's how that works. So we've gotten that part. We are moving to the next task, which is 1C. Now 1C says, find the highest recruiter. How do we find the highest recruiter? And then there's now a clause. If the recruiter hires 18 upwards, promote them. If they don't hire up to 18, then let them maintain status quo. I think it was only Toria Douglas that attempted this particular test. But now we're going to be working on this, yeah? So now, we have already set up the names of recruiters, the number of hire, and then recommendation, which is either to promote or to maintain status quo. So how do we get the number of recruiters? Like I said in the last class, you can use the unique formula, or you can just copy, paste, and remove duplications. If your Microsoft Excel doesn't make you eligible to use the unique formula, because the unique formula is only, I think it's only from Microsoft Excel 2016 or 2013 upwards that can use it's not even 2013, I think from 2016 upwards can use the unique formula. I don't know, but if you don't have the unique formula, I'll still show you another way that you can do it. So we want to select unique formula. Our array is going to be, I don't want to be turning sideways, so we'll continue using referencing the employee data. Open the square brackets. Our array is going to be recruiters, right? Do we have those? Yes. Our array is going to be recruiters. And then I close this, and then I close the formula and press enter. So we have 5 recruiters. So for those of you who don't have, or who your unique formula is not showing you the unique formula, you can come here to the list of recruiters, which is here, right? Select all of them, copy. Now, you will now come to the data you want to, or the place you want to insert it. Now, insert as value, Control Shift and paste. Right? That's Control Shift and V. That's how you insert as value. Inserting as value means we are taking away the formula or any formula at all that was used in the beginning. So how do we now make this show us this number of recruiters? So we'll come to data here. You will see this particular icon here under the data ribbon. You will see this remove duplicate. Click on remove duplicate. Select, it will show you, do you want to expand selection, or do you want to continue with current selection? Continue with current selection, because we don't want to expand. If you are expanding, that means that every single data that is in line, on the same line as the duplicate that it wants to take out, it will delete everything. So we will say continue with current selection and then remove duplicate. You see column AK, yes, just still select the column AK. And then now you see it has removed 95 duplicates and left 5 unique values. So the unique values, instead of going on through this process, the unique helps you to still do the same thing. So let's take this out. We found our number of recruiters. So we want to know how many did each of the recruiters hire. What formula are we going to use? Is still the count if, right? So we'll say count if. The range is going to be referencing employee data. Open the square bracket, and we'll say, what data are we referencing? We are referencing, our range is going to be, we'll come down to recruiter, because that's the range. And the criteria is going to be, criteria is going to be this value, which is the name of the recruiter. So I press enter. So this is telling me that Levi has recruited 18 staffs over the period of the years. We started recruiting from what year? 2016. So from 2016 to 2024, he has only recruited 18 staffs. So what we'll do is we'll drop down so that we can now, as you can see, Samuel recruited 21, Maiwa recruited 32, Thomas recruited 17, and Yusuf recruited 12. So the way to now know that our formula works and our sum is the same, we'll now add everything together. It needs to equal to the total number of staff, which is 100. So as you can see, we have this Total number of staff. Hold on, please. Some people, I want to check on people on the group chat. Good afternoon. I can't join. Please send code. Why is it requesting for code from certain people? Okay, I guess maybe they'll just watch the recording or something. Maybe they'll come back and see the recordings. So recommendation, we want to say, okay, if this particular person recruits more than, remember our point of promotion is 18 upwards. So we'll come here, we'll say equal to, if formula is what we are going to be using at this time. If this particular data, right, is greater than or equal to, is greater than or equal to 18. Remember, we are not just using greater than, because even 18, those that are recruited 18, we want them to be included in the promotion. We want them to receive a promotion letter. But if we just say greater than 18 without, hold on, if we just say greater than 18 without including the equal to, that means we are saying any value that is greater than 18, value if true should be promote, value if false should be maintain status quo, right? And then we'll press enter. So as you can see, this person has recruited 18, but because we did not say equal to or greater than 18, this person would not be promoted, which would cause an issue in the system. So we'll come back to this formula, add the equal to, because we want to also read the value 18. Now you can see now that it's showing promote, and they would drop down. So we've concluded that we found the number of recruiters, we have found the number of hire per recruiter, we have found, we have been able to recommend if this candidate is worthy of promotion or if the person should maintain status quo. So these three are the ones that we are going to be sending promotion letter to. While these ones will be, what will we do to them? We'll encourage them. We'll encourage them to do better. So I guess we have concluded on this particular aspect. So we are finished on number 1. Please, I need a meeting ID to log in. I don't know if somebody can help me respond to these guys on the group, because I don't understand. I sent the link previously. Okay, hold on, please. Okay, so we have concluded on that. So what I wanted to explain this last week, because a couple of people wanted to know how to set birthday notification on Microsoft Excel without using tools, so that you don't forget. You need to fall back to your Microsoft Excel sheet and be able to celebrate people when they are when it's their birthday. So this is quite simple. It's one of the simplest formula, actually. So the first thing that we are going to do, we are going to get their date of birth, right? So date of birth, we want to insert the date of birth. Date of birth here, now we want the format to be in the Excel format, which is in numeric form. So we would reference the employee data table again. You see that we are referencing the employee data table a lot, because it becomes easier for us to reference because we have named the table. But if we didn't name the table, then it will become an issue for us. Let me see if there are people in the waiting room. Nobody's in the waiting room. All right, we'll continue. So let's say, okay, what the data we are working with now is the day of birth, right? Date of birth. We'll close the square bracket and press enter. So automatically we have the date of birth here. But this is easier. Now, why I wouldn't like us to, keep to this particular format is because we want it to be referencing the employee ID. Now, if an employee ID is changed, you will notice that this will not change because it's not referencing the employee ID here. So the best thing to do is to first get the employee ID, reference the employee data table, open the square bracket, then reference the employee ID, close the bracket, and then we have this. So rather than just referencing the data from that table, we would use the X lookup, right? X lookup is kind of easier than V lookup because it takes you straight to the point. So the X lookup is going to be, now your lookup array is the employee ID, right? lookup value, sorry. Lookup value is employee ID. Lookup array, we want it to be employee data. I don't want to go to the sheet because it would create a kind of long statement in my data and I don't want it. So employee data, will say our lookup array is going to be the employee ID, right? Because that's where we want, that's where the lookup value is. Do you understand what I'm saying? The lookup value is in the lookup array. So after that, we'll press the comma, move to the next statement. So now the next statement is going to be, sorry about that. The next statement is going to be employee data. So what we are going to be looking for now is the return array. Our return array is going to be what? The date of birth. So we have selected the lookup value. We have selected the lookup array where the lookup value is. And now we are going to be selecting the return array, what we want Microsoft Excel to return for us. So what we want it to return is the date of birth, which is this right here. So we'll close this and close the entire formula. Please confirm you can hear me. Ayotomide, welcome. I guess the network is terrible everywhere. Please confirm you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello, are my people in the meeting?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello. Okay, did you hear all of the explanation that I made for the X lookup?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to confirm. So all we need to just do next is to press enter. So now you can see that all those values have been cleared because we have referenced only this particular one. So we want to say, okay, show us the ones for the rest. So now you can see that if I now change this employee ID. Okay, all right. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Samuel. Someone also said you can hear me. So if I delete this particular value, for example, now, let me delete this person. Now you see that everything, oh, I've deleted everything. Oh, not this one. I want to delete only this one. So one thing that I want to do is let's copy this particular data and paste as value. So it's not referencing that data, because once we want to do the sort, once we want to sort it, it will give you an error code that you can't sort a lookup array if you leave it as referencing, as it is referencing that employee data table. So what you will do is copy the employee ID and paste it as value in the same column. So if I take this out, so it only affects one of them. Do you understand? So we are returning it back to how it is, returning value. So we have gotten the employee's date of birth, each employee's date of birth. So what we now want to do is that we want to display the date of birth in, you see that I didn't include name because name is not necessary. And the reason why I didn't include the name is because our own name here, they are all the same. So if I use the name value, everybody's age will be showing the same thing. So what we want to display here is we want it to say, okay, this person's birthday falls on a Thursday of April 2024, because we are currently in 2024. If I just turn this one to, I know some people would come here and turn this into, change the dating format to this long, what's it called? This long format here. But the problem with this format is that it only tells you the particular day in 1972, right? But we are not in 1972, we are in 2024. So how do we know what particular day it falls on in 2024? That's why I would be showing us how to do that here. So the formula we are going to be using here is the date formula, open parentheses. What the date does is that it gives you the opportunity to select or change dates of a particular data cell. So the year is going to be, rather than 1972 here, we are going to be doing 2024, because we're in 2024. Now move to the next Excel statement, to the next statement. Month now will be equal to the month formula. The month formula would now be that we are selecting the month in this particular year. Remember dates, Microsoft Excel shows dates in serial numbers. It's just that we don't understand the serial number, so we turn it into date format. So this is a serial number. So what we are saying now is that out of this particular serial number, select the month. We don't want to see the day, we don't want to see the year. Select the month alone, right? Now we are moving to the day. We say select day, no, not date. Day, select date in this, what did I put in two brackets? Okay, select day in this particular data set. Select the same date of birth. In this particular data set, now we close and then press enter. So now you can see that this person's birthday in the year 2024 falls on a Saturday. Can we hear me? Am I clear? Do we understand how that works? Please, I need us to respond. Please, I need us to respond. You can leave it in the chat. Let me, if you are not, if you think you are going to distract me by unmuting yourself, you can leave it in the chat. I need to know if I'm talking to you, if you guys can hear me. Please respond in the chat, okay? So is that formula clear to us? Can I move on? Hold on, I need to open the chats now. Okay, all right, so somebody says you can hear me. All right, so good. So we are going to move on. In case you can't hear me at any point, please let me know so that I can come back and fall back to it. So that's how we have gotten the day of the particular birthday in 2024. So what we need to do is drag down and we have that there. So now, another aspect of the formula or of this sheet that we'll look at is we want it to show us the month because we want to sort it to know the number of people that have birthdays in January, number of people that have birthdays in February, number of people that have birthdays in March, a number of people that have birthdays. Please do. I probably need to rewatch this before I can clearly get it. Okay, somebody is saying I should go on that they would need to rewatch this to be able to get. All right, so let's just go on. Okay. So now we want to insert months. If I come here and say, okay, choose months, because you guys want to select only months in this particular series, what it is going to bring for you is just going to be number 4. Why? Because the value of month here is picking this series as a serial number. And because the month that it falls on is April, it is counting April as January, February, March, April. April falls on the 4th number in the 12 numbers of the year. So if it was January, it will give you 1. If it was February, it will give you 2. If it was this, it will give you, and so on and so forth. But we don't want it to just display 4. All right, we want to see April. We want to see the month itself. So what do? We will use convert to text. So what the text formula does is that it converts a series of numbers or a series of values, into text. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So what it does is that it converts a series of value into text. Please, can you all see my screen? Is my screen clear enough? Because I don't want us to be moving at different times. Okay. So what we will now do now is somebody about to speak?
No, I just want to affirm that the screen is clear enough.
Okay, all right, thank you. What's your name? I don't understand this language that is written on your name. What's your name? Sorry.
My name is Shamsuddin.
Amsuddin.
Shamsuddin.
Right?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Yeah, what did you say?
I said my name is Shamsuddin. You can
okay, Samsuddin.
Yes.
All right. Okay, Samsuddin. All right, so thank you very much, Samsuddin, for your reply. So what we are going to be doing here is that we are converting this particular value into a text, right? So you can see our first value is the month value, right? We have selected month in the date of birth. Now, what we want it to display as is that we want it to display the month. If I put in 1M and I close the value, it's still going to show me, what's it called? 1. Why does it show me 1? Okay, hold on, please. All right, so our value is going to be this. Okay, our value is our date of birth. Our format text has to be in MMM. Okay, let me see this, if this is going to work. Okay, yeah. So that's what we were supposed to have done. So select the value. The value is not supposed to be month of the date of birth. It's supposed to be the date of birth itself. And what we are going to be working on is the month. If I want to check the day, right, we can put D, 1D, and it will show you the day is 13. Do you understand? But because the month is in text, we want to see, if I insert it as 2, if I put 2M's, you see 04, right? If I put 1M, you see 4. So the number of, the format text depends, the number of M's you put will depend the format text it will display as. So, but we want it to display as full April, right? We put in 4 M's, so it will show us in full. So we have the full April as a statement. So what we will do is we'll bring this drop down. Now we have the month of each and every person displaying here. So what we want to do now is we want to sort this. We'll sort this, come to custom sorts. We are not sorting as A to Z. We want to sort it as January to February as date. So you come to custom sort. Sorry, give me a minute. I want to be sure if I can see my screen from here. Sorry, give me a minute. I just want to quickly attend to something. Okay. All right. So what we will do now, we will come to custom sort. After clicking on custom sort, you see that, do you want it to expand formula, or expand the selection, or you want it to continue with the current selection? For this one, we want it to expand selection. So we'll click on sort. So now you will be faced with this particular so you'll be faced with this particular interface. This would be the first thing that will pop up. This will pop up to your screen. So what we are going to be doing is that we have already selected the sort. The sort value, the value that we want to sort is by month. And the cell value has already been selected. Sort on cell value in order, it has already been selected already. But if this is not selected, you can click on this drop-down button. Sometimes it will not show you January to December. Sometimes it will put it to A to Z. So all you just need to do is come to this drop-down button, select January, February, March in that order, and press OK, right? So now we can see that it has arranged it for us in this manner. How do we now get the notification? What formula do we use to say, okay, if it is this person's birthday, tell us happy birthday? It's still the E formula. The reason why I like the E formula is because it can be used for anything, literally anything in Microsoft Excel. So what we will do is we will insert the if formula. Now, our logical test is going to be if the month, right? If month, open the bracket, in today. Remember, you know the today's formula is inserting today, open parentheses and close parentheses. So what this formula is doing is we're asking Microsoft Excel if the month in today's date, right? So we'll insert today. The bracket is open, close bracket, close it, right? Is lesser than or greater than the month in this particular value. Let's use F2, right? So that's the date of birth. So what we're asking is that if the month, if today, the month today, let's say today is, how do I put it now? Let's say today is, what month are we? We are in May, right? We are saying if the month today, which is May, is greater than or is lesser than or greater than month of in the date of birth, which means if today's month is neither nor April, right? What we want you to do is that we want you to leave the data cell as empty. Let me take that again. If the month today, month of the year, which is May that we are in currently as we are, in real time, we are in May. So if today's month is greater than or lesser than the month in the value of the date of birth, return as blank, right? Now, value if false, we want it to say if the day, right, in today, close it, is lesser than or greater than the day in the date of birth value, which is F2. Hope I'm typing in the, okay, which is F2. Right, repeat the same thing. We want it to be blank because it's not the same. It's not equal to the day of the date of birth. So it is either greater than, if it is either greater than or lesser than, leave it as empty in the month. If today's date in day is either greater than or lesser than the date of birth, leave that day also as empty. Then value if false. Okay, we didn't close this particular one. We open two parentheses. So what we'll do is that we'll clear that first parenthesis. So we have said if, oh, come on, bro. If they open parenthesis in F2, close parenthesis, all right. If day to day is greater than or lesser than or lesser than or greater than day in F2, value should be left as blank. Now, value if false, we will now say wish the person happy birthday. Right? So we'll close it and press enter. Microsoft Excel is telling us that we didn't include two what's it called, parentheses here. So I'll say yes, correct it for me. And then we have the same formula. Let's do a drop down. Now, because we don't have anybody celebrating birthdays today, you don't have a notification popping up. But let me now change this particular person's birthday to today's date, for example. Now, you know how to get today's date is by pressing in the today's formula, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, and we press enter. Today is 11. Why is it not telling me happy birthday? Okay, hold on. Let me look at this particular formula again. So if month today is lesser than or greater than month in F2, leave blank. If day today is greater than or lesser than, if it's, it's supposed to display actually. Oh, okay. I see what's happening. I see what is happening. It's because we are referencing this one rather than this word, the one in the word. That's why it is not showing anything, because this one is still remaining the same. As you can see now, we referenced here, but because it's showing this one as 1982, that's why we don't have anything here. Okay, let's put in the formula in this particular cell. Since this particular notification is referencing this date of birth, let's insert the today here, because I was wondering why it didn't work. Okay, so as you can see, we have inserted today here, and this is showing us as happy birthday. So if you want to reference, my mistake was that I referenced this. I was referencing the date of birth here, and I was doing the notification on the date of birth here. So that's why it didn't show at the initial, at the first instance. So now we'll come back and reference this particular data. So let me go over this formula again. It says if the month of today, which is what we are on, which is May, is greater than, lesser than or greater than the month in the date of birth in this value, leave it as blank. If day today is lesser than or greater than the day in this particular value, leave it as blank. If else, then return as happy birthday. So that's why you have this as this notification popping up as a happy birthday. So if this person's birthday is today, or if today's date is this person's birthday, then you can see the notification here. If I come here, copy this and paste the value here, you see that this is also going to be displayed happy birthday. So by this, you can be able to track applicant's birthday. You can add a conditional formatting to this particular data. Select the column without selecting the header. Select the whole column. You can come to conditional formatting just to make it look a little bit, what's it called? Just to make it look a little bit flashy or a little bit different, right? So we'll come to equal to. Let me go over that again. Come to your data. No, come to your home. Under your home, you see conditional formatting. After selecting the column that you want to work with, select conditional formatting. Highlight cell rules equal to. So now we'll say if the value in any of these columns is equal to happy birthday, fill it up. Should we leave it as fill with light red fill and dark red text? That is not a good one for birthday. So let's use fill up with green. Okay, let's custom format. So you can come to custom format. Let's make the fill. What color can we use for birthday celebration? Let's make the fill this green. Right? Now the font, you can come to the color, change the font. Let's make the font, because it's green, should we leave it as black? Let's leave it as black. Now the border, we want to make the border kind of colorful, or kind of, have some kind of fancy tone to it. Let's use this one. So we press OK. So we have already custom formatted. Now we are saying if this one, any of this cell here is equal to happy birthday, color it for us. So sorry, let's look at the conditional formatting again. So you can let's come to manage rules. Okay, so let me edit the rule. So you can come here and edit the rule. I think the issue now is that I put in two different quotation marks. So let's press OK now. All right. So rather than typing quotation happy birthday and quotation, you can just type in happy birthday. Microsoft Excel automatically recognizes it as a text and leaves it as and puts the quotation mark by itself. So now you can literally, just by looking at it, you can tell that, oh, somebody's doing a birthday today. Let's send either a mail or send send a picture broadcasts to staff, informing them that this person's birthday is today. So I think we have been able to cover the aspect of the birthday. Let's move to the next task. The next task is goal seeking. Right, one of the goal seek can help when you are trying to is an aspect of Microsoft what if analysis, right? So what we want to do is that we have a budget of 100 million naira for staff salary. Now we want to know how many more staffs do we have to hire to meet this budget, or how many more will we hire that will pass this budget? Remember, the purpose of having a budget in the first place is to help you to minimize spending so that you don't spend excessively. That, and to be able to help you plan for the current year. So what we want to do now is we are going to be using the goal seek. As you can see, we have opened the worksheet here. Under that worksheet, we will need to find the average remuneration, which is the current gross. We are not going to be using net because it's entirely the total cost to the employer is the gross, right? We are not going to be using net because we want to know how much the cost the employer will be spending either on the payee, on NSITF, on NHF if you are deducting NHF, on which other deductions do we have? I've mentioned payee, NSITF, on ITF. So all of those things we want to know how much, that will be listed as employee gross and not employee net. So we'll find the average of the employee net of the employee gross. We'll find the total number of staff. We'll find the current total of their salary. Remember, we are finding average salary, we are finding total number, we are finding current total of the salary, and then we have our budget. All right. So how do we find the average? Now we are going to use the average formula, right? The average formula helps you to find the average of any value. So we'll come here, select average, reference our employee data, open the square brackets, we'll come down to the data we are going to be using here is monthly gross, right? Because we have made that data a table, we are going to be using the monthly gross. Hold on, please. Let me check how many people we have in this meeting. All right, we still have the same number. Okay, so we'll select monthly gross. We'll close the square brackets and then press enter. So as you can see, this is the average salary. You can either do it like this, still the same way. Either you did like this formula, or you have the total sum of employee salary divided by number of staff. So you can either do it like that or just use the average formula. That one is a long journey. So now we want to know the number of staff, right? We can come here, equal to employee data, open brackets. The data we are going to be working with now, we'll use count if. But since we already know the number of staff, there's no need for us to be even using formula. So let's just input it as it is 100. You see that this has cleared out, right? I will explain why this is here. So we have 100 staff. Our current sum is what? So we will do equal to average number of staff times, average cost of employee salary times number of staff. It will be equal to 67,700,000. So how do we know that that is correct? We can use the sum formula. Sum, reference the employee data, open square bracket. We'll come to the employee gross here and we'll close. As you can see, it's the same, right? Once it's the same, let's clear this. We already have this. Now our budget is what's our budget? 100 million. So we have that as 100 million. So how does the what if analysis, or how does the goal seek under what if tells us that this is the amount of staff that you need to get to be able to meet up with this benchmark, or to be able to meet up with this budget here? So what you do is you come to data, see the what if analysis, click this drop down button here, you come to goal seek. Now you select goal seek. Now you see this value, it says select set value. Now the set value is going to be the current sum total of employee remuneration. The reason why that is like that is because the set value only works with values that has a formula. If I remove the formula, the formula that is here is calculating average cost times number of staff. That's how we're able to get this. But if I just input the value alone, this goal seek will not recognize it because it needs a changing cell for the set cell to be able to give you the number of to work on the number of expected to meet the value. Do you understand what I'm saying? To meet the budget. So our set cell is going to be this particular one here. We've selected it. Absolute condition. We've absolutely conditioned before as our set cell. Now changing cell. Our changing cell is total number of staff because that's the data that changes. That's the basis that lead to the change in our value of which we are trying to get a budget for. Now, to what value? What value are we trying to seek? What goal are we trying to reach for? So we are reaching for 100 million. You type that in by yourself. You're not going to be selecting any data. You type that in by yourself. How many zeros have I pressed? How many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, like that, we've counted it. And you press OK. So now you can see goal seek have helped you to analyze your data and told you that, oh, you need to get 148 staff to be able to meet with 100 million as a budget, right? Let's go over that again. We'll come to data, click on what if, come to goal seek. You select your cell value as this one because it has the formula in it, which is average employee cost times the number of staff. And then the changing cell is going to be number of staff, right? To what value? What are we trying to budget for? Is 100 million. Now press OK. So now you can see we already have 100 staffs, right? We need 48 staffs more to be able to meet up to what's it called, 100 million. So if we currently have 100 staffs, this now will help you to now place a consciousness to the number of staffs you are going to be recruiting. So this will now tell you that, oh, moving forward, any number of staff that we are going to bring on board or hire must not be more than 48. Because if we hire, our average salary is 677,000 naira. That's how much averagely each of our staff earns. So if we bring in more than 49 staff, that means we are going to be way above our budget. So the goal seek helps you to analyze the data and tells you what particular change value you need to get to the budget. Is that clear? Do we understand that part? Can we move on to the next point? Because I want to make sure I try to cover everything before my meeting by 2:30. Can we move on? You can reply via chat. Can we move on? Can we move on? Can we move on? Team, can we move on? Okay. You can reply via chat. You can speak. I'm listening. Please, I want to know if. Okay, since most people are saying that they'll just follow up on the video, that's nice. We can do that as well. You can do that as well. Once the video is ready, I'll post it on the group so that you can be able to do a follow up. All right, so that's that for this particular aspect of the task. The next task is going to be, okay, thank you very much, all of you that has decided to, Samuel says, why don't Samuel just rewatch? Okay, Samuel. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Okay, so the next task is going to be that we want to see performance per department, right? So the formula we are going to be using is the average if for each of the departments for each of the year. So we want to see what's the performance of the legal department in 2022, what was their performance in the year 2023, and what's their performance in the year 2024. So because we are working on the departmental basis, we are going to be using the average value. This is actually quite simple. It's not that much of it's not a big, we're not using too much of a big data set. So we are coming to departments, right? We want to see, we can either use the unique formula. For those of you who cannot access the unique formula, please use the duplicates, delete duplicates. All right, so let's use the unique formula. So we want to say our array is going to be employee data departments, right? We are working with departments, so it's department we are working with. How can I say we are working with departments? Department we are working with. So we are working with the department. So what we just need to do is to close this and then they give us the unique number of departments that we have. So as you can see, we have just 8 departments. So what we are going to do is the average if equal to average. Why am I spelling average this way? Average if. Now, our range is going to be employee data, reference employee data. The range is going to be performance for 2022, right? We already have a data that says performance for 2022, performance rating 2022. That's the range that we are trying to look up, right? Close the square brackets, move to the next statement, which is the criteria. Our criteria range is going to be this value here, right? Criteria range is going to be this value here. And then our average range is going to be the performance data for 2022. So we'll use employee data, reference the data sheet again, come to performance, do this, and 2022, we'll close it with the square brackets. We'll press enter. What's the problem? Okay, I think we referenced performance here rather than, okay, let's change our referencing from performance rating to departments. Let's use departments here. So our data is going to be changing from, the range is going to be departments, criteria is going to be this particular data here, and the average range is going to be using the performance data in 2022. Okay, so as you can see, because we used the average range, the performance rating for 2022 as the range, rather than using the department as the range. That's why we got the divisional error. So now we already have it that for the legal department, their average performance for the year 2022 was 41.25. 41.25, so you can do a drop down to get for the rest of the departments. So for human resources, as you can see, human resources has 62.6, but the highest is the finance. The highest performer in 2022 is the finance department. So I would have loved if we could create like a chart for this, but we've already covered that in the last class. So if you want to go ahead and create a chart for this, you can go ahead, create a chart. For just display reasons, display possibilities, if you wish to do that, as you please. So we'll repeat the same process for 2023. Repeat the same process for 2023, equal to average if the range. Now let's not make the same mistake we made the last time. Range is going to be departments, right? Where is our department? Departments, close this. Criteria is going to be the cell AG13. And our average range is going to be, we are going to be referencing the performance rating data for 2023. Right, we'll close this, press enter. As you can see, we have already gotten that. We'll repeat the same. Let's see if we drag it here, if it is going to show us different. Okay, showing us divisional error. Let's find a way to make it work. Okay, so it's showing divisional error because this is referencing line manager. Let's take it back to department. And we'll make this AH24. We'll change this to AG12 because it's AG12 we are working with. Nope, AG13 rather. So, all right. So as you can see, we have changed the formula. Now this will now tell us that, oh, in 2022, the legal departments performed at an average of 41.25. In 2023, they did better and they had a performance level of 49%, 49.5%, approximately 50%. And here they did 49% approximately. So it's now going to be left to you as the HR to analyze data leading to why there was a downfall in their performance. As you can see, this year we are working with if you want to make a comparison, you can do comparison between 2024 and 2023. The reason why we just added 2022 is because we just wanted to know how to, compare 3 different years. So comparison of data, we can use 2024, 2023. We say, okay, let's compare staff's performance or departmental performance this year from last year. How is our staff currently performing? How do we track performance by this? This is by knowing the employee, the total performance of each of the departments. So we say, so for legal departments, they reduced by so percentage. You can come here, calculate the percentage difference, which is current value divided by, current value minus old value divided by old value. Do you understand? That's how you know the percentage increase or percentage deduction. So we know that, oh, this particular department has reduced by this particular percentage or has increased by this particular percentage. Do you get what I'm saying? So now we now say, okay, why is the legal department's reducing in their performance? Is it that they lost staffs, or is it that what did they say in their survey? Were they value proposition? Is it the employees themselves, or is it the organization, and so on and so forth? So there are plenty data that you can select to help you determine the reasons for the deduction or the drop in performance. As you can see, operations rose. Okay, let's try to check the percentage difference, right? We'll say equal to current value minus old value. Let's put this in a bracket. It's current value divided by old value. Let's multiply this. Let's display this as percentage, right? So this will tell you that they've dropped by 2%. So let's include a conditional formatting. You see how expansive data can get just from getting one data. In fact, from getting two data, you can get a million data. So we'll say, let's do it by, should we add conditional formatting to this data, or should we just continue? Okay, let's just continue. All right, so for this one now, you can see that they reduced by 2%. This one, they increased by 31%. Oh, sure, sorry. Okay, let's see what we can do with the conditional format. Let's see what we can do with the conditional format. Let's say highlight cell is greater than, let's say it's greater than 0, yeah? Anyone that is greater than 0 or lesser than 1. Lesser than 1. Lesser than 0. Sorry about that. Anything that is greater than, anyone that is greater than 0. How do we do this? Okay, anyone that is greater than 0, let's make it green. Let's make it green, right? Fill that green, make it that green. So we'll repeat another conditional formatting. Anyone that is lesser than 0, we'll leave it as red. Okay. So here now you can literally tell that the high performer is operations department, control units, business development, and finance. There is a 60% reduction in the human resource department over the years. Between 2023 and 2024, there's a 40% reduction in the investment and treasury department between 2023 and 2024. There's a 43% deduction in their performance of the ICT department. So a lot of reasons can cause, A lot of reasons can cause why this is happening. So you just have to look at your data again, drill your data, let your data tell you what the issues are. So we have confirmed this task now. Let's click down here. We've done that. We've done this as well. We've done this as well. We have done this as well. So now, this next one, we want to set HMO plans, right? For each of our staffs. So this is almost as tricky as this one because we are using the if and and formula. Remember, the if and and formula is selecting two different columns in Microsoft Excel, and it's telling us if this and this is equal to this, give us this particular value. So in our HMO plan, we have the Bloom family, we have the Bloom single, we have the Gold family, Gold single, we have the Silver family, Silver single. Now, for this one, we want to give them to junior staffs that are married. They are XYZ, they are premium under XYZ HMO. Okay, so their premium under XYZ HMO is going to be the Silver family. But if you are a junior staff and you are single, it will be Silver single. If you are a senior staff and you're married, you have Gold family. If you are a senior staff and you are single, you have Gold single. Like that, management staff married, Bloom family. Management staff single, Bloom single. So we'll come to our HR data. right? Where have we inserted the cell for our HMO? Did you not insert? Okay, this is our HMO value here. So we want to know for each of them, which HMO are they going to fall to? So we are going to use the if and. If, press your tab button and press your tab button. Now, logical question 1 is if this, right, is equal to, you want to start from the junior staff. If this is equal to junior staff, right? So if and this is equal to junior staff, and where's their marital status? And the marital status, logical question 2 is if their marital status is equal to single, right? What are we pressing there? Is equal to single. Value if true should be, our value if true should be employee, is it employee data we're working with? No, HMO. So we have already created a table for the HMO. So that's why I can reference the HMO table here. So our table is going to be the HMO table. Open the square brackets. We'll give them silver single because we are saying if they're a junior staff and they're single, we want it to be silver single, right? So we'll close this. Now, value if false, we'll say if and, what is this? Okay, I was not typed the wrong thing. If and grade, let's go to, okay, staff breakdown is equal to, continue with junior staff because we have found the one for single. Now we are going for if they are married, right? So we are saying if it's equals to junior staff and marital status is equal to married. I'll close that. Value if true will be what? If you stop, value if true will reference the HMO data, open the square bracket. Value if true is going to be silver family, right? We'll close this. Now let's try to test the formula that we've written. Value if false, let's leave it as blank. Then we can now close this. All right. So you can see we have already assigned HMO value to these particular guys. If you check now, this was now, you see that if they are married and they are junior staffs, let's come back here. See junior staff that is married, their HMO cost is 250. This one too is the same, 250. So let's check if there's any difference for the ones that are not married. Okay, as you can see, this one is 200,000 naira, which is the single, silver single. You can see now, this person is a junior staff. Let's check this. This person is a junior staff and he is single. So that's why we have the cost as this. All right. So if we now want to write the formula in full, it's quite long. I don't know if should we do everything? Should we do everything? Yes, let's do everything. Right? So our value if false is going to be if and come back. Okay, let's just leave it here. If and staff breakdown is equal to, let's do senior staff now. Right? And their marital status is equal to single. Let's start with the single ones because they're the ones that we need to hold them very tight these days. The single ones, okay, so we've said if the staff breakdown is equal to senior staff and the marital status is equal to single, value if true, oh, come on, bro. Okay, value if true is we want it to select the HMO data, open this, come to, as you can see, gold single, select gold single, close it, put a comma, value if false, we will now reference if and again for the married senior staff. So repeat the same process. Why did you bring me to this side in the first place? Now, if this is equal to senior staff, this is the only one that I will be able to complete. Senior staff, logical test 2, and marital status. What's happening? Okay. It is okay. I can see. As you can see, as I selected the marital status value, it didn't come up as a link. It didn't come up as a formula here. That's why I had to go back to check. I didn't make this as a text. So Microsoft Excel saw it as an error. So logical test 2 is if marital status, as you can see now, is selecting as a value now, is equal to, let's say they are married. Yeah. Close this. Close this. Now, value if through reference the HMO, give them gold family. Yes. And then value if false. Let's just leave. If you have your time, you can go back and fill it as you please. All right. What is happening here? Value if true is HMO. What are we doing wrong? It's not displaying anything, so that's particularly wrong. Let's see what happens. Okay. Issues from this married. We close. If true, let's make it HMO. Okay, we can still see the value. Gold. Oh, we selected gold single, or was it gold married? We selected. Was that why it didn't work? Okay, close brackets, and then value if false, we make it blank, right? Okay, because we want to close on this. Let's press enter. The formula is missing an operational, missing an opening or closing parenthesis. Okay, let's add more parentheses to this. Okay, it was missing more than one. Okay, so as you can see now, we already have created different HMO data sets for our single and married senior staff, single and married junior staff. So you can go ahead, add for the management staff. You see the rest that we have are management staffs. 15, those are earning up to 1.5 million, 1.5 million, 1.5 million staff. So the only one that we don't have here are the management staffs, right? So you can go ahead within your own space of time, include that for your management staff. Why do I feel like completing this thing? But I think I would need to extend my meeting with the other guys. So you can do the same. So if I want to even say, okay, value if false should be, you can change your value if false to now equal to the HMO plan for the management staff, if you please. Or you can just repeat the same process over and over again. So that's how we have gotten the HMO. Now you can separate this particular value. You can now still say, okay, I want to know how many staffs are using HMO Gold Single. I want to know how many staffs are using Gold, Platinum, or whichever one you have. So all you need to do is repeat the, how do I put it? You can use the if formula, say if this is equal to, or use index match, right? You can try index match, you can use the if formula. If this is equal to 3,000 or the cost of a particular plan, let it display. I don't want to go over it because it's actually quite long. Do you understand? So we'll say if this is equal to, as this is 30,000 naira now, 300,000 naira, sorry, we want it to equal to the value of the HMO, which is the plan itself. So let's try it. All right. I don't like saying things without trying it. So let's try it. All right. Let me go back to my HMO plan. So as you can see, my HMO plan is displayed as this. What we would likely do, is, okay, let's use the HR, sorry, this one is just, it's the fresh. So we can say if I prefer to use the VLOOKUP value, but the VLOOKUP value is only going to show when that particular data is displayed right beside themselves. Okay, let's do this, yeah? Let's do this. Let me paste this as transpose. Let's do transpose paste. Okay, let's paste as formula first. Outside formula, then I'll copy this. Hold on, please. I need to try something. Okay, let me clear this one out. Okay. So let's drag this to the other sheet so that it becomes easier for us to. Let's create. Let's bring a space here. Drag it here. Let's select this. Okay, so that we can have enough space. All right. We'll come back to the HTML plan, copy this, place here. Sorry. All right, so we have this here. Matter of fact, I want to put the premium cost before the HTML plan so that we can use the VLOOKUP. So we'll put the premium cost before the HTML plan. Much, but for this one, let's use VLOOKUP. We'll do equals to, what are we doing? VLOOKUP, lookup value is going to be this, right? Now, table array, we'll use this particular table as our table array. As you can see, please take note of this amount of index colon. This index colon is 2, right? So we have selected our table array, index colon is 2. Range lookup is 4, so we are going to make that 0. Let's press enter. So as you can see, you can automatically tell, because it's a data, it's already a data table, it's going to help you to fill down. And there's some Microsoft Excel that will automatically help you to fill down. So we are referencing this. Sorry about that. Okay, so the issue with all these ones that you're showing is because we did not use the absolute conditioning for the data sets. So that's why if you open the next one, you will see that it's referencing the data lesser than this, and then this one, it will reference another data lesser than this. So what we will do now is that we are going to conditionally absolutely condition. You can press your F4 key. You can press your F4 key for both of them, and automatically you have conditioned it to be, to work with only this table array. All right. The reason why it showed us the NA before for the rest of the data is because the remaining data was referencing empty cells, because we didn't absolutely condition the data to select this data set. So now we've come here now, we have absolutely conditioned cell 6 to column HA12 to AI6 to column AI12. So I hope that's clear. So that's why we are able to get it to fill down and show us. So the only ones that we have empty here are our millionaire staffs, our heads of departments, because we didn't have any value there for them. So it's going to be empty. So now we want to know, right? What is the number of staff we have under each HMO? Okay, what is the number of staff we have under each HMO? what you are going to do now, you can use the COUNT-IF formula to count. Let's do it. Rather than just say, let's do it, right? So we would use the COUNT-IF. What is this one? Yes, okay. So we can use the COUNT-IF. Did I spell my count wrong? Oh, I spelled my count wrong. COUNT-IF formula. Now, what's our range? Our range is going to be, our range is going to be this, right? What's the criteria we are looking for? Bloom family. So we want to know how many of them are using Bloom family. None, because we didn't do any formula for, our management staff. But if I now drag down, I want to make sure I'm not selecting the right data. So now, as you can see, we have 46 number of staff using the gold family. We have 17 number of staff using the gold single. We have, so that's to tell you that we have 17 single, 17 single senior staff, 46 married senior staff. That's to tell you that our senior staffs are more married than our junior. 17 of them that are married. We have 12 of them that are not married, that are using the single silver premium, and then silver family premium is 17, gold single premium is 17, gold family premium is 46. So if in your own time and space you are able to add the data for the management, you see that it will show you this. So now we have even extensively shown number of staffs. Let's add additional tasks. Yeah, we have seen the number of staff per premium. So this one was not even in the plan before, but because we were drilling the data, this came up, so we had to work with it. So now we have seen the number of staff per premium. Now you already have that data. Work with it as you please. So now we can declare this as done. Right? So now our last set of data is this one right here, right? We want to set leave, number of leave days. I would have really loved to present a leave planner, show you guys how to run leave planner using Microsoft Excel, but it's long. Maybe I said it in the last class, I was going to do it in this class, but this one is of urgency. It's of urgency. So our number of leave days for management staff, we say 30 days. Right? For senior staff, we say 20 days. For junior staff, we want to give them 20 days. So this is where we are going to use the if or. You see the if or working in this particular formula. So we'll include it, come back to our HR database. We want to include another, let's rename this, please. Always rename your heading of your HR data, your table. So let's name this, let's call this HMO premium. All right, so we have a data for our HMO premium. Now we want to create another data set. Let's call this one what? Leave, not leave plan. Sorry about that. So we'll call it leave a number of days. We keep returning me back to the beginning because it's a table. Okay, so we'll have this as leave. Come here. Number of days. So what we are looking for now is that we wanted to say, okay, if this particular staff is a management staff, give them what's it called? Give them 30 days. But if they are junior staffs and they are senior staffs, give them 20 days. If we had contract staff, if you have contract staffs in your staff breakdown, you can include that. If you have drivers in your staff breakdown, you can include that. So your if formula, if you have drivers and contract staff, most times contract staff and drivers always have the same number of leave days. So you can use the if or for the driver and the contract staff. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't change this data right now. It take a long time. So we would work with this one that we have. So now we have junior staffs, we have senior staff, and we have management staff. So the if or now, we are going to be working with the or value first. So it's going to be equal to if or. Remember, the if or, we are only going to be working with one value. That's one column, I mean. So let's reference, I don't want to be shifting. So we will reference our employee data. The value we are working on is staff breakdown. Staff breakdown, right? If staff breakdown, no, let us use it like this. This one now we are going to be referencing the whole column. Let's just go and select it one after the other. Now where's the staff breakdown? Where's our staff breakdown? Okay, so if at staff breakdown, this one is equal to, because our senior staff and junior staff have the same leave, number of leave days, that's why we are going to be using the OR formula for them. Do you understand? So if the number, if the staff breakdown is equal to, let us say, senior staff, or this same column is equal to, why is my formula not showing me properly? Okay, but this same column is equal to junior staff. Let's come back to our formula. Let's make sure we are doing the right thing. The logical test 1 is this, right? Logical question 1 is this. Logical question 2 is this. All right, we are on track. So if this one's, so we are saying if the staff breakdown is equal to senior staff, or if the staff breakdown is equal to junior staff, value if true, right? Value if true is that, hold on. Okay, we didn't add the quotation here. All right. So value true if true is going to be, let's say, let's call it 20 days. Okay. Let's say 20 days, right? Close the bracket. And if false, because the value if false is going to be referencing the management staffs, do you understand? We have only three values here. Is either your junior staff, your senior staff. If false or if else is going to be management staff. So we'll leave it as 30 days. Right, so that's our if false value. We'll close this and we press enter. So this automatically fills it down for us. Now you can see all our junior staffs and senior staffs as 20 days, 20 days. This is the senior staff, this is senior staff. 20 days, senior staff, senior staff. So the value, the way the formula works now is asking Microsoft Excel if the staff breakdown is either equal to senior staff or is saying junior staff. Value if true should be 20 days, but value if false should be 30 days. That's to tell you that they are senior staffs, right? So I guess, is that our last? I think that's our last task. Okay, I thought it was going to be longer than this, but apparently it's not even long. It's not as long as I thought it was going to be. So now we've seen how interesting analyzing HR data can be. You see that this is just one fit. We are not even focusing on, even the performance, we are not focusing on one aspect, a lot of aspects of the performance review. We are only focusing on separating between years. We have not checked the trend. We didn't create a chart to check the trend over years. So analyzing HR data can be as complex as you want it to be. The more you drill into this particular data, the more you begin to see more reasons to add more things, or you gain more insight into the data. For example, is this particular one. We didn't add this to the task, but as we were drilling the data, this came up, right? So I guess we are done for this particular session. So for today, we understood how to assign line managers using the if and or formula. We know how to use the insert the full names without using the concatenate. We have gotten the highest recruiter, where we use the if formula to confirm if they are recruited either 18 or upwards, we promoted or maintained status quo. We've learned how to create a birthday notification for our people in either people and culture or employee engagement section. We have created a goal seek to be able to track salary budget. You can use this for any type of budget as well, either your training budget, either your recruitment sourcing budget, either you have you are using budget for your cost for employee engagement budget, your full HR budget generally. Whatever you want to do, you can use the goal seek to help you to track that. Performance per department, we've tracked that as well using the average if. We set our HMO plans, which sets the costs using the if and we're able to track the number of staffs using each premium or each plan under each premium, under the premium available by the XYZ HMO. We've gotten that as well. And we have been able to set leave days for our staff members. So for this, each of these particular data, the reason why we are referencing is that if I come here now, let's say, for example, this one, right? If I come here now and change, and this person leaves, and the person that comes on board is a, oh, I don't want to change this to, okay. This is where the value is. Okay, let's change from this value because this is referencing this value. So if I say this person is a manager, for example, as you can see, automatically this one changed to management staff. You're now going to see their number of leave days is changing to 30 days. Do you understand? This one is going to show us error. Why? Because of the formula we put in before. So we are going to undo what we just did. We'll make this senior executive officer. All right. So this should be back to how it was. Okay. So this is back to how it was. So I guess we are going to call it a day. Does anybody have any question? Does anybody have any addition, any statement, any contrary statement to whatever has been said? Please, I need us to, let's get feedbacks. What did you think about today's class, please? We want to know how you guys felt about today's class. What was it like for you? You can leave it in the chat in case you don't want to, maybe you're in the market and you don't want us to hear the voice of your what's it called, the salespeople around you. So you can leave it in the chat. Do you have any question about this particular session that's just held? Hello, team. Any question from your end? Any question? Okay. Do you have any question? Are we clear on all of this, or we are just waiting for the video to be available so that we can rewatch it? Do you have any question for me, even outside what we have just done? Do you have any question for me? Do you have any observation or addition generally, so that we can call it a close for this particular session? Any question? Samsudin. Yeah, hello. Any question? Any question? Today's class was good. Just unfortunate that the network was, yeah, I think it was because of the rain. The rain is terrible. He almost showed me Shege here too. He showed me Shege here too before I'm able to, I was actually even able to present. So yeah, I understand. So the video will be available on the group chat either by tomorrow or by Monday morning, by God's grace. Not Monday morning because I'll be going to work. Let's say Monday evening. So I'll make this available to us all. So does anybody else have any statement, anything you want to add? Oh yeah, I want to even ask us a question. You can leave your question in the chat, but I have, how many people do I have in mind? in this meeting now. Hold on, please. Okay, I have 7 people in this, not even 7 per se. Myself and myself. So Oluwakemi Sola, can you hear me? Is Oluwakemi Sola there?
Yes, I can, but I joined late, so I would have to watch the video.
Oh, okay, no problem. So Oluwakemi Sola, are you an HR as well, or you just pick interest in the HR analytic aspect, or you want to transit into HR?
I've been doing a bit of HR on the side, but I'm beginning to pick interest in HR analytics. So
that's fantastic. You're welcome. You're welcome to the team. Don't worry, you're in the right group. We'll help you through it. All right, thank you very much. Yeah. So, Mr. Paul, unmute yourself, please. Mr. Paul, what do you do? This is time for my people to introduce themselves. You guys know who I am. So, Mr. Paul Abba. I think Paul Abba is eating. Paul Abba, can you hear me? We just want you to introduce yourself. Okay, I think Paul Abba is busy. If Paul Abba is busy, Mr. Samuel. Mr. Samuel was the first person that I saw his face in this meeting in the previous class. Very active man. Mr. Samuel, are you there? Yeah, is it the rain that is causing everybody to sleep at this time?
My boss. Okay.
Hello.
I'm still here.
Mr. Samuel. Okay. How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Sorry, I think
So
the glitch was because of the network and all of that.
Yeah. The network was actually quite terrible. The network was quite terrible. So how was what do you do? Are you an HR or are you looking to transit into HR analytics? And how was the course today's session for you?
Okay, so the thing is, I recently transitioned into HR.
Wow, fantastic.
I really want to focus on the HR analytics aspects. So that's why I picked interest in this training.
Okay.
And so far,
all
has been good. It's been insightful. At least I've learned a lot from it. So I just want to say kudos to you, sir. You're doing a great job.
Thank you very much. Do you have any challenge anywhere in using working with Microsoft
I don't
Excel?
have any.
Okay, you've not had any challenge so far?
No, because actually I've been going through the videos over time to do stuff on my own. So hopefully I'll get today's video and I can work on it.
Okay, that works. Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel.
Thank you, boss. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you to be here. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Mr. Samuel. So, Mr. Samsudin.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Samsudin, thank you, bro. Mr. Samsudin, you can unmute now. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah. How are you? Good evening. Good. I mean, if you are in the afternoon, Mr. Where are you, Mr. Samsudin? You're not in Nigeria, are you?
Yeah. I'm outside.
Okay. Yeah, you have left us. All right. So, Mr. Are you in the HR sector or what do you do?
Actually, I'm in the HR sector. However, I'm still a student. I'm in the.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a graduate student.
Okay, that works. So you're welcome to the HR field and welcome to the HR analytics field. So in this particular group that you are in, we post a lot of videos. I even send some reference videos from other other trainers that I myself also look up to. So that we can use you.
I've been good because this analytics stage for me, it's a stage of beginner for me. So I'm just trying to learn.
Okay. You're learning the ropes.
Yeah. Some of the terminologies you're using, some of them I'm just trying to familiarize myself with them.
Okay. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, I understand that part. So thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Samsudin.
Good job in explaining because you your mode of explanation is very, very easy to grasp.
No, thank you. Thank you very much for the review. Thank you very much for the feedback. Thank you so much, Samson. I wish you best of luck in your journey into the HR analytics field. And I hope it's easy for you as you are stepping into it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. So I think we've come to the end of today's class. Thank you so much, everyone, for your participation in this session. The video, as previously said, would be saved and uploaded on YouTube, and then the YouTube link would be sent to us in the group chat so that we can access it. All right. Okay. So thank you very much, guys. Let me stop sharing my screen, actually. Okay. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. We will see again, if possible, next week. If not possible, next week, Saturday, then maybe the next week to come. But most likely next week, Saturday. So have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy yourself. Meet out with friends. Open your Microsoft Excel more often. Rewatch the video if you are stuck. And reach out to me on LinkedIn. My name is as plain as possible, Tomorima David. Reach out to me on LinkedIn if you have an issue in your Microsoft Excel, or reach out to me on WhatsApp. I'm very open to conversations, so that we can kick up from there. Okay, so that's going to be all. Good day, guys.
Enjoy the rest of it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.